Girls of Reddit, what is the best way a guy you don't know can start a conversation without being creepy or annoying? One thing I've noticed is that a lot of guys don't think it's creepy to ask where I live if I'm on/waiting for public transport. If you've just met me and open with that, there's no way I'm telling you any more locally than in the town/city we are already in. I've asked guy friends about it though, and they all seemed genuinely surprised that I thought it was creepy. Have gotten off buses early before because of this, because I felt uncomfortable with a stranger knowing where I live. Don't get me wrong, if we've been chatting and it's likely we chat again, then it's okay to ask, but not in the first 2 minutes. I once had a cab driver ask what apartment I lived in so he could come up later. I was terrified for weeks. That's so effed up. The frick. I live in an apartment and I always have my Lyft driver drop me off in front of the complex. I don't want them knowing which building I'm in. Guys I've found on Tinder also think this is appropriate. When I answer with a very vague X side of town, they follow up with "Oh, where on X side?" and keep pushing, despite me not giving anything more. When I'm ready to tell you where I live, I will. Why, it's creepy. I've had a guy who knew where I live threaten to come rape me when I turn him down. I don't feel like repeating that. I was on a dating app and had an obvious misnomer. Guys would ask if that was my real name and I would explain that it wasn't, and that I have an extremely unusual name that I didn't want to share until I felt comfortable, since it would be incredibly easy to find me IRL even with just my first name. Most would not let it go. Exactly, one guy said, "That's really smart. I completely understand." Immediately supplied his last name as an example of being simple to find, and never asked again. Currently we live together, and I'm trying to pretend there isn't an engagement being hidden somewhere in here with us. Top tier advice. Respect all boundaries. Edit. Grammar. Well, did he ever end up finding out your name? Or is he waiting until the big day so he can just refer to you as Mrs. and keep the mystery alive? Lol. I eventually told him, but your idea sounds better. I really blew it. You like jazz? No, but I like jizz. Me too. Wait. Shizza. Oh, it's fine. I like shizza too. Cool. You wanna go out for a poop sometime? Sure. We can go Dutch. I once said to a girl, "Hey, we are in the same math class, right? And now we are married. Always take math, guys. Always, that's the key. 1 is the loneliest number. Hey man. 2 can be as bad as 1. But the loneliest number? It's the number 1. 3 can be as bad as 1. 4's a crowd. Can we skip 5 and go right to sex? Don't automatically hit on me or just assert yourself. Bring in common interests or ask me a simple question like, "Oh, is that a Manchester Orchestra shirt?" or something like that. I'm super friendly and will talk to most people as long as I don't feel threatened or uncomfortable. If I have my headphones in or I'm reading a book, please don't start a length conversation with me. "Is that a Manchester Orchestra shirt?" Guy here that learned a hard lesson. It's not about how to approach girls. Learn how to approach people. The easiest way is to compliment every time something catches your eye. To everybody. Not something they were born with or generic. Things like, "I love the pattern on that shirt," or "Hey, that necklace is super cool." I've even complimented Macube. The next step is to read their response. Did they ignore you? Or just give a simple thanks and move on? Move on. They took the compliment, but aren't interested in conversation. Did they get mad? Keep practicing. You picked something they weren't intentionally trying to show you. Did they brighten up and start talking? Carry on. Friend, you nailed it. The idea is simple. They picked the thing you complimented because they thought it looked good. Complimenting that is validating their taste and nothing more, which if done casually is really hard to be creepy or annoying. And as an added bonus, it's assumed you are saying they look good in it. So it's 2 compliments in 1 with almost no risk of doing it wrong. Another important tidbit, once you're dating someone, keep complimenting them. Don't stop because you're already dating, and you don't need to keep chasing them. Older gent told me, never stop treating her like your girlfriend. Every day I act like it's the day I will propose. This was a dude married like 40 plus years. Keep an eye open for signs of wanting to be left alone, like wearing headphones or reading a book. As a guy, it's the total opposite for me. I'm usually reading on my phone, when I'm out by myself, so I feel less awkward/lonely. Occasionally a stranger will start conversation and I'll immediately drop my phone, because I'd much rather have someone to talk to. I'm a girl, but I'm like this too. We are none the wiser. Learned this one from Uncle Aaron. First, you lay your hand on her shoulder, then you give her the look. Finally, you top it off with a hey. Hey, it appears your shoulder is molesting my hand. That's sexual harassment. You keep that up, I'll yell so loud the whole country will hear. Give a genuine compliment on something small you've noticed, an accessory, personality trait or her laugh. Or try to notice something she's noticing or looking at and comment on it. Also, it helps if those compliments are aimed at something we have agency over. Your makeup is gorgeous or your glasses are cute, or laughing at a joke she makes suggests you like things that we are controlling for ourselves. You look hot or even wow you're really pretty may be meant sincerely as completely innocent compliments, but they can come off in a way that suggests you're only admiring us for things like our bodies or our facial features. Make us feel like you like our styles or our senses of humor or skills or hobbies. Yes, if someone compliments something like my t-shirt, that's something I can talk about comfortably. It sort of creates an immediate common interest, even if they aren't familiar with it, because then it gives me a chance to share something I really like, or to just say thank you if I'm busy. But being called pretty just makes me flattered, but also a little embarrassed, because I can't think of anything else to say after that. If you wanted to start a conversation, on multiple occasions I've blanked and said, thanks, you too. Which is not great. Hey, wanna see pictures of my cat? Would definitely work on me. I tend to carry a book or drawing book with me, and while from time to time I sink into it and want my peace of mind, whenever I lay it down quite a lot and look around or just decide to lay it down completely for that chapter inapproachable, and I love the question what I'm reading or drawing or what book I'm carrying, I can give you a real interest and opinion, and let's go from there. I'm drawing ducks, thanks for asking. Hahaha. That's in the realm of possibilities. Find anything you can in common. Just bring up your common interest. Make sure you ask open-ended questions so the conversation doesn't seem forced. As long as it feels like a genuine interest, it won't come off as creepy. So do you like dissecting frogs and starting fires too? How did you know? Oh Romeo. You can be proud of how intelligent you are, but don't show it off. I get that guys try to prove to me that they're super smart, but in that certain context, to a complete stranger, it comes off as patronizing and belittling. Don't dumb yourself down, but try to let the girl do most of the talking at first. Let her warm the conversation up, and give up on trying to flirt with girls who are on the job. Store attendants, waitresses, cashiers, also the gym. Just don't. I promise you, she is not into it. This isn't always true. I dated the barista at my local coffee shop for a while. The key distinction here is that she asked me out. I didn't say anything that could be considered flirtatious to her, because that's incredibly inappropriate to do to someone who's literally be paid to be nice to you. What I'm hearing here is you can only chat to women if they're wearing a band t-shirt and with no distractions whatsoever. Not an easy thing to find in your late 20s. I'm a woman who often wears nondescript clothing and pretends I'm distracted, earbuds w/nothing playing, staring at my off phone, expressly so guys don't talk to me. So yeah, actually, consider recreational events. People are likely more open to conversation there. Stopping me on my way to work or when I'm running errands is a smaller chance of success, but still acceptable. Don't flirt w/people when they cannot physically run away from you. Trapped in an elevator or train car at work and required to be polite or will get in trouble. A guy at a bus stop asked me what my favorite snack was. We talked about popcorn for 10 minutes before the bus got there. By the time we boarded the bus, I was really wanting some popcorn and he asked me if I wanted to go see a movie and get some popcorn. Of course I did. That guy was a genius. Girls like snacks. How did he even establish a 10-minute convo about popcorn? He was a pro. Also, your username checks out here. He was the smoothest guy I ever met. So charming. I had no choice but to go out with him. A nice smile can go a long way. I think if someone is just themselves and you vibe with them, then it shouldn't be creepy or annoying. Ask what her interests are and create a foundation of your likes and dislikes so you can talk about them. You may end up hating each other, but at least you'll know. Be Danny DeVito.